perhaps needs to be considered when we're looking at operational strategies and providing signage for them. So, in summary, for our circulation scenario, a significant number of people have been observed or replied that they would actually consider using the stairs. Queues only appear to be a minor deterrent in affecting lift stair selection, and travelling in groups appears to greatly increase incentive to use lifts. For our evacuation section, we observed that despite being told that it was acceptable to use lifts, only about 1 in 3 participants would even consider their usage, with very few of them always considering using the lifts, and over 3/4 saying the height of the floor they were on would influence their decision to use a lift. The height of the building has also appeared to play a significant factor in this decision. We've observed that as floor height increases, the proportion of participants which would consider using the lift also increases. However, we've observed that about 20% of the population wouldn't be prepared to wait to use a lift. So, on average, less than 10% of our participants would consider using a lift, irrespective of crowd density or wait time. And participants appear to have a critical crowd density threshold and a critical wait time, which, if exceeded, appears to cause them to redirect to use the stairs. Clearly, occupants are prepared to utilise the lift. However, it seems to appear dependent on floor height, crowd density and expected wait time. Participants in the study clearly exhibit anticipatory behaviour. They've chosen to use a lift because they expect a lift will service their floor in a given period of time. We need to consider these human factors when developing operational strategies. Just to highlight, there are a number of inherent limitations with using online surveys posing hypothetical situations, asking people to quantify their behaviour, some of which are listed here. Also, there are other influencing factors which we expect might influence human factors, some of which are listed here. Both of these need to be considered when interpreting and applying the results. So we've collected this data. What else are we going to do with it? Well, we've started looking at how different demographic sub-factors influence our results. So we're looking at the effects of age, gender, country, also BMI. We've also used data to instruct an enhanced lift agent model within Building Exodus so that we can incorporate the data within Building Exodus. And we'll be using this to see how different human factors affect different operational strategies for evacuation. Having said this, more data is still needed. This, along with a handful of other studies, to try to make some first steps in understanding human factors. But a lot more data and a lot more work is needed in this area. We actually still have the survey online, which can be found at the following web address, and we invite anyone to complete it. I'll be happy to give this address to anyone after if they're at all interested. Thank you.
That's great, Michael. We've got 2 or 3 minutes for questions. One right at the back.
You have said that I think the limitations of the scope are very interesting because the online survey does not present the real life. So I think the data you present might be nice, but might not be real.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's important to highlight these limitations, and it's something which seems to be lacking in a lot of research. It's absolutely true. I mean, I think one of the biggest problems we had was, I feel, perhaps conceptualization. How do we know that people are answering the question, they can actually perceive what they will do? Having said this, like I said, this is meant as an initial step, and the idea is that we can collect a variety of responses, a variety of different papers, and hope a variety of different types of behaviour. And we can use this to perhaps guide actual evacuation trials, where we can see if these are the types of behaviour that people exhibit.
One more question here.
Yeah, thanks. Just out of interest, Michael, I'm just wondering why you choose to use density in terms of the queue size as opposed to the number of people queuing.
Actually, the number of people were actually stated as well. However, we were looking for a scalable option because you get different size lift waiting areas, and the number of people, just having the number of people doesn't scale with the size of the lift waiting area. This is why we chose perhaps density. Having said this, the model can use this number of people as well.
If I could just cut in there, when we presented this to the people, we didn't ask them to choose a density. We said, here's a picture with the number of people. You choose, and we know what those densities are. So it's a density factor that's useful for us, but the participants weren't told, was it 5 people per metre squared? They would say, here's a picture, you've got 4 lifts, look at the crowd in this lobby, would you wait?
One more.
It's probably interesting to find out at which point and up to at what extent people get to overload the lift.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, there are a number of micro-level sort of pedestrian behaviours which have been not included in this study. There's loads of other factors as well, especially to do with how people behave in the lift waiting area itself. I think we're going to need some actual evacuation trials, to get a better understanding of this behaviour.
One more very quick question.
I missed your presentation, but any text was statistical significance of your differences of your results?
Absolutely. I mean, this was a 20-minute survey. It took a long time to complete, and there were a lot of results. Actually, we have got very significant factors in the circulation setting, looking at direction, and there was actually significance in a lot of it. I'll be happy to talk about it after, because we actually produced a journal paper which includes the significant values. It's also important to remember that I've presented a series of averages here for brevity. We've got distributions for everything. We've looked at various significance testings and whatnot. But this is just a general overview in this presentation.
Lots more of you have got questions. You might like to check up with Michael at morning tea time. Thank you.